Welcome, listeners, to Crossing Borders, a podcast not about immigration. Believe it or not, I am your host, Josh, also known as Mythic, and this is my co-host, Sid, also known as Squidney. Grab your passports and join us for episode 8, where we will be talking about stupid stereotypes. Are they true or are they false? But first, let's catch up with each other's week. So, Squidney, how has your week been? What's up?
My week, it actually kind of flew by, to be completely honest. But I do have a story to share, and it's actually from this week.
That's nice. That's wonderful.
A lot of the previous episodes, we've been sharing stories from not the week of, but this one is from this week. But it is pretty short.
Hey, shush. No one was supposed to know that. Shush.
What? I mean,
oh no. Oh, well, that's out. It's out there now. It's fine. Anyways.
No. Well, cat's out of the bag. This story, it is pretty short, but it just happened to me at work. So I work as a substitute teacher at my local high school.
That annoying substitute teacher, that's Squidney right there.
Yeah, that's me. No, but so I hear all these conversations all the time, and I think it was yesterday. But I was subbing.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was Monday.
Okay.
Monday. I was subbing in a class. Obviously, that's my job.
Yep.
And the class was starting. The students were filing in, and one of them sat down, was like, "Oh my goodness," talking to her friend. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I could not figure out what to wear today. I tried on 8 different shirts." And I thought the story would fit really well with our stereotypes subject today.
I'm sorry. Wait, 8 different shirts for for school.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh my goodness, I went through 8 different shirts this morning, and I decided on one, but I'm not sure if I really like it for today. I have literally no clothes." She said that word for word. I have literally no clothes. And then a few seconds later, she was like, well, "I have 200 shirts." Not even kidding.
That is very interesting to know.
I'm like, "What?
Okay.
Where do you keep your shirts?"
I know. How would that even fit?
Just has crates of shirts.
A full loot box of shirts.
Oh yeah. What about you? What interesting things have happened to you of late?
There's 2 interesting things I want to talk about. But first, we will add this to our Education Across Borders Part 3, but there's a difference in dress code, so that's interesting to talk about later on. Anyways, my first story was actually from 2 weeks ago, I believe. I believe it's 2 weeks ago. Let me see the calendar here. Yeah, it was exactly 2 weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
When I was, since we're talking about stereotypes anyway, I am of Asian ethnicity, especially Chinese, and we celebrate Chinese New Year every single year. Obviously, it's like a instead of celebrating New Year's at exactly 1 January, we celebrate the Chinese New Year. At least for this year, it was on the 22nd of January.
Ah, cool.
And the tradition for at least in my family, usually we would visit our grandparents' house, or at least since my grandma lives with me, so my other cousins and my uncle and auntie would come to my house and have a big feast together, catch up, play some cards, talk, and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
It's been really good to catch up with them.
Big family get together.
There was a lot of us, and my house was getting super crowded, but I managed to get through it. However, we played a game. Have you ever heard of Undercover or Mr. White?
I don't think so.
Okay, so it's an app game. We're not sponsored, by the way, but I wouldn't. I mean, if you want to sponsor,
if you
sure.
want.
I mean, it's no. Okay. Anyways, we played this game using a mobile app. So I use my phone, download the app, and it's basically a game where there are 3 sides to the game.
Okay.
There are the civilians, which if you ever play Werewolf, you're just like the sort of the useless guys, but not really. The second type is the Undercover, and the third type is the Mr. White.
Okay.
So, in a game, I believe we played, there were 10 people at the time. So, 1 person was Mr. White, 2 person was Undercover, and the rest was civilians.
Okay.
Now, when we pass the phone along to get our roles, we are also given a word, you see. For civilians, for example, the word was guitar, okay? And then, for Undercover, they get the word of banjo. So they're both very similar items, right? Or stuff.
Yeah.
But for Mr. White, you don't get any word. You're just being told you are the Mr. White. Okay?
Oh.
Get what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then,
Yeah.
in each round, every single person has to describe what their word is with one word that is not that word itself, if that makes sense.
Ah.
So, for example, if I was the guy who got guitar, I would say wood, because, guitar is made of wood most of the time.
Yeah, most of them
and
are.
The next person beside me, for example, the word for him was the banjo. He would say strings. That's very general, right? Both guitar.
Yeah, that applies to both guitar and banjo.
Now here's the thing, though. Since Mr. White does not get a word, when it's his turn to describe the items, he can't be found out that he's the Mr. White, right? Because at the end of each round, we would vote one person out, and if the amounts of civilian is equals or under the amounts of undercover, we would lose. If the Mr. White can guess the word, he would win. See what I'm saying here? And
I see.
The undercover and civilians, we don't know which side we're on. We are not told if you're undercover or civilian. You just get a word.
Oh.
So things would get really interesting, really, really fast.
Nice.
The one that I remember was I got lightning, and I was undercover. I didn't know that lightning was undercover word.
Mm-hmm.
The civilian word was thunder. Yeah, you see, thunder's the sound, lightning's the thing, the one that you see.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I forgot who got Mr. White, but yeah. So it was my turn. I said, rain. And then the next person says a cloud, and the next person says,
Yeah.
And after one round, we start sussing out who are the undercover. I didn't know I was an undercover, so I thought I was a civilian. It's like, okay, that guy, he mentions, since my word was lightning, he mentions loud, right? And I was like, that doesn't sound right. Lightning doesn't have a sound, So
technically, thunder has the sound.
Yeah. That's why. We voted him out. And it turns out he was a civilian. So like, oh, okay, well, that makes me in a bad position now. And
Here we go.
Yeah, and the games goes on, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, if you have friends to play with, it's a lot of fun to play, from my experience at least. And then I got the chance to be a Mr. White, right?
Oh yeah.
The word was, if I can remember here, it was swamp and forest. So very similar as well. But I could not guess what the word was.
Very similar. One's just soggy.
Yeah. When it was my turn, I just said something super general, but also something to confuse. I was pretending I was not the Mr. White, right? Because when you're describing
it's a noun.
Yeah. When you're describing words, you can say something super weird just to throw off the Mr. White. And I was pretending that I was not Mr. White, trying to throw off Mr. White. So I just said clown, and everyone looked at me like, "What? I'm just trying to distract the Mr. White, And I got voted out instantly. Come on, man. Come on. That was a good strategy. Come on.
Well, yeah, I can see why they booted you out. Just saying.
Oh dear. And
that's like the most sus thing ever. Trees. Grass.
Clown.
Everyone looks at you. They're like,
Come on.
You're like,
Come on.
It's a clown forest.
Come on. It works. It should have worked. I thought I was big brain.
If you really think about it.
Clowns might be in the forest. Maybe it's their lit. Maybe.
I mean, technically, clowns wear rubber noses, and rubber, at least the original non-synthetic rubber, comes from trees, and trees make up forests. So if you really think
about it, I'm the smart one there, but no one was on my level.
See?
Yeah, we'll keep it at that.
Yeah, okay.
And my second story, before we continue with our topic today, is literally today. I came from sort of a cram school, but not really. It was sort of more of a support, just to make you better at math or better at physics or biology or whatever. And
oh, okay, yeah.
while we were studying, I had a really fun teacher who had the exact same name as me, and he's a really fun guy.
Oh.
And he's like to just have fun, saying some funny stuff while studying, and then like challenging us to answer the question. So he was a fun math teacher, I would say. But while he was teaching, and it was like a sort of like a serious mode, someone sneezed so hard I jumped almost. I was so shocked. I jumped and I almost fell out of my chair.
You do scare really easily, and it's funny.
Yeah, I am. I mean, if anyone's been to my YouTube channel, go subscribe to Mythic Magician at YouTube. You've probably seen me on stream just like being shocked by either Finley or you, Squidney, Sydney.
Yeah. I just walk up, I'm like, hi, and he's like, oh my goodness, I almost died. How could you?
That's me. That's me. Yeah, I easily scare. Easily. But I also like to scare people. So that's a plus.
Yeah, nobody's scared me yet.
Not yet.
I don't scare easily unless there's something literally like flying towards my face, you know?
Well, I will personally send you a cockroach then. That sounds like a good gift.
No. No.
There's really big ones here, you know? Just saying.
Oh, yeah. They'd probably die here, to be completely honest. It's really cold.
Oh, cockroaches survive anything, man, to be honest. Even if you nuclear bomb the cockroach, they will still survive, I think.
Yeah, but it just might just go like, nah, I'm out of here, and just fly south back to like Indonesia. It flies all the way back to Indonesia. It's like, hey, I'm back. And you're like, no. Phyllis, I sent you away. And he's like, nay, I've come for your soul.
No. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Anyways, let's jump right into today's topic, which is stereotypes.
Yeah.
You've heard of them. What's the definition of stereotypes, Squidney? Come on, tell us.
Well, stereotype is it's like a prejudice. It's a preconceived notion that generalizes a group of individuals, typically based off of like country, race, height, gender, things like that, that are typically untrue, but often are applied to all the people, you know, of that demographic. A widely held but fixed and oversimplified image or idea of a particular type of person or thing.
Excellent explanation. And
yeah, I googled the definition.
it's it's usually in a negative connotation, not in a positive one. But there are some positive stereotypes, but that's not fun to talk about. Let's talk about the negative one. Let's be real here.
Nah.
Anyways, I think we should like do an intertwined one. So like go back and forth between Asian, which I am from technically, Asian or Chinese stereotypes, and then American stereotypes. You can look it up if you want, because we'll be taking from some sources here for the stereotypes. And I'm going to start first, I think. So, a stereotype from America. This is from Wikipedia, so blame Wikipedia for this.
Okay, I see.
Apparently, you guys in America are obsessed with guns. Apparently. So, is it true or not, Junie? You've lived in America since you were born, so you probably know more than I do.
Yeah.
What's up in there?
Well, it really depends on the family. I mean, guns are legal in the U.S., and they're illegal in a lot of other countries. And Americans definitely are way more like, ooh, guns than most other countries. Because, like, our Constitution has, like, the First Amendment, which is part of the Constitution. Is like, we have the right to bear arms, and then everyone's like, oh, we have the right to own guns. It's the core principle of our country, you know.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I mean, it's already happening.
Yeah. Okay. A ton of a ton of people in my area, since I live out west, in Idaho, where there's lots of forests, lots of just miles of sagebrush, own guns, mostly for hunting or just for like, oh, if someone breaks into my house, I can point a gun at them and kick them out, you know.
I see.
Although mostly for hunting, you know.
How about you? Have you held a gun before in your life?
I have held a gun before, yes.
I see. Well, what did it feel like? Because I've never held a gun before, obviously. What does it feel? Does it feel like? Do you feel like, I should not be trusted with this, or you're like, oh yeah?
Well, like physically, while holding it, it feels kind of what I expected. They're kind of heavy because, depending on the gun, obviously. But like the sense of power. I'm like, I could take over. No, just kidding.
Oh no! Oh
uh,
no!
there's definitely when you're holding a gun, you're like I could move my like I could just move my finger and literally kill someone. I have like a weapon of mass destruction in my hand. It's like kind of like a little
Yeah,
bit of like
it's.
a sense of what's the word? It's like awe, kind of, or like
Mm-hmm.
respect. You're like, oh, this is a powerful tool of death. I'm not going to use it, of course, but I'll
One
shoot
click
targets.
and a life is just gone. That's
Yeah,
insane to think about. If you really think about it, and you're not trigger happy to just
yeah.
shoot people.
Of course, on the other side, when you're like at a shooting range and you're like shooting targets, you're just like bang, 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 and you're like, yeah, America.
Yeah, I can hit every single target. Oh, I'm a sharpshooter. Oh yeah.
I haven't hit my target yet, on purpose, of course, to everyone else's
What?
targets. No,
What?
just kidding.
Excuse me?
No, I'm just kidding. No.
Yeah, I know. I get it. So, what is the stereotype you want to ask of me? It can either be Chinese or Asian stereotypes in general. Up to you.
Okay, let's see.
Or maybe
An
Indonesian
Asian
stereotypes. I
stereotype.
can answer that too.
I don't know specifically Indonesia stereotypes, but I do know a few Asian stereotypes that I
Okay.
have heard.
Throw it on me. I am maybe ready.
Okay. Are Asians bad drivers?
Oh, I knew this was gonna come. Okay. Um.
Yeah.
Okay. So driving, right?
Mhm.
I can definitely say from my own experience riding my motorbike throughout Jakarta, the capital city of Indonesia.
Yeah.
Some people are, oh my gosh, come on, man, come on. But I can see why that could happen because, at least in Indonesia, okay, I can't speak for other countries. I know some other countries are more about their bad driving because of being drunk driving, But
Yeah.
at least for me, and what I've heard of Philippines, which is just the country above Indonesia,
Mhm.
yeah, man, driving license are more of a guideline. Not a guideline. What's it called? More of a like. Okay, you can drive.
Suggestion.
I'm not saying you're good at driving, but you can drive now. Because at least here, it's not a secret. I can just say this. Most people already do
Yeah.
it anyway, but here in Indonesia, it's sort of corrupt, the driving license system. You usually take your theory, or like a theory, or theoretical test, and then you do the practical test, which was the actual driving.
Okay.
But so this was before my era. This is like back in the day. Back in the day, they would do these theoretical tests using paper, right? Not now it's digitalized with computers, so there's no like they can't really
Yeah.
cheat it, But back in the day, they would just fail you on purpose multiple times, even though you've like keep retrying. I mean, you pay for these tests, right? You pay once
Yeah.
until you graduate. So like you only it's a one-time payment, and then you can take over the test over and over again. But after a while, it gets annoying because you
Okay.
can only take one test every single day, and after you fail, you're just gone. There's no retrials. You have to try it tomorrow.
Like the 8th time, you're just like, like the 8th or 9th time, you're just like the same answers every single time, but they're still wrong. What's going on?
I know,
Come
like
on.
so. Hearing from my stories, at least from my parents and from people around
Mhm.
me, these cops, as they call themselves, would fail you, and then they were like, "Don't worry, you'll get it next time." Or if you want help, quote unquote help, let's meet under the tree over there, And he would ask, or he or she would ask for an envelope. Of course, you might know it's filled with money, most likely, for them to
Or ham.
help you pass the test.
Yeah.
And it's been like their profit. Like they make profit from this. It's not.
Yeah.
It's
As a
not
friend,
secret.
I'm going to
Most
help you
Indonesians know
pass
already.
the test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the theoretical test. For the practical test, it's even more annoying because one mistake you make, you're not gonna pass. They won't tolerate anything. I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
If they aren't corrupt.
Yeah.
But the problem is they are corrupt, so it's not good times two. It's not good square, It's
Yeah.
they would fail you and then do the same exact thing hey, I've seen you try a bunch of times. What do we meet under this tree over here, and we'll help you pass the test as well. And most people,
yeah, they're watching that tree now. We're gonna move trees,
Oh no, oh dear. But yeah, they will. Most people have pay to win driver's license. So
I hate pay to win.
Yeah. Apparently, driving licenses are pay to win. But yeah, here you can technically pay to win to just pass a driving license. Thankfully, in the recent years, they've turned the theoretical test into a digital test, so you can take it using a computer, and they can't cheat it because it's the government system.
Yeah.
But since then, they've been really mad because they can't make profits out of the theoretical test anymore. So they're even harsher on the driving license, or like the practical driving test. My sibling took the practical test, I believe 5 or 8 times, and still didn't pass. But we don't like cheating, so we just keep trying until we get it.
I passed my driving test first try.
Did you really?
Yeah, actually.
Like what did they test?
Well, they have like a written test where they're like, hey, here are some laws, like when there's a driver approaching you and you have your bright lights on, what do you do, or something like that. They have a written test on the computer, and then there's a driving test. So,
okay, since on driving tests at least, what I've heard from one of my close friends and family, they would test.
Yeah.
The hardest part of testing is going to be parking, right? Especially the rear parking.
Yeah.
And the parallel parking.
Parallel parking. Oh my gosh, I hate parallel parking.
Parallel parking, you need to get it in the first try or you will fail.
Yeah.
You can't go like forward and back as what you've probably seen in like parking buildings. You can't you can't do that. You have to slip in first try. And that is so hard because I think they purposely make the gap really tight with the car, or the testing car, so you either have almost impossible chances, or you're quite lucky for that 1% of the people who can actually pass the test. Come on, it's like, sheesh.
I have not parallel parked since my driving test. And that was years ago. So.
Found you. Anyway, that's why I think most drivers are bad. I think that's where the stereotypes of bad driving from Asians came from. And also,
I get bad driving. Yeah.
Okay, here at least we don't.
Okay.
Well, yeah. You go first.
Okay, I'll go. I get bad driving because recently being like the past like 5 years, more and more people from out of state, specifically California, have been moving into Idaho, and the quality of the average quality of driving has been dropping, and we're like, those Californians are doing terrible driving. Like we have a phrase for when you come up to a stop sign, and instead of stopping all the way and then going, you just like slow down a lot and then go. We call that a California stop.
Oh my god. Oh dear. I mean, there are some bad traffic, or like traffic, not, what was it called? That we have here in Indonesia. Like, okay, most people, maybe not most, like maybe half of the people are actually respectful of the laws, but the other half, you best not be challenging them, man. Goodness sake, they will just like floor it. They see the lights red, it's like a challenge to them. Oh, you mean I'm gonna stop? Oh no, I'm gonna floor this.
Yeah.
Insane, absolutely insane. And we have a trouble here, or like a problem where people keep going, not the wrong way, technically the wrong way. When you have, well, at least here in Indonesia, left lane is for, or like on a big road, left lane is for us to go, for example, forward, and the right lane is for us to go backwards. Some people will just be on the right lane to go forward, you know?
Oh, that's annoying.
And when you're driving, it scares you a lot. It's, my gosh, there's like some... day. Oh, man. Okay, let's not talk about this. This angers me. Anyways.
Yeah, okay.
Next stereotype from America.
Next stereotype, indeed.
Is it true that you are easily confused by roundabouts? I mean...
I do hear about this a lot.
Yeah.
I've only seen people use a roundabout wrong a couple times. There are quite a few roundabouts in my area. I know how to use a roundabout. They're so easy to use.
Do you
People
now? Do you?
No, like literally. You just go. That's how you don't go left. You just go.
I know. What's so hard about it? For any Americans listening and they're mad for me reading these stereotypes, blame Wikipedia, okay? It's not my fault. They put this in here.
Reading off Wikipedia. I did see this video once online. I think it was like some sort of drone or traffic camera or something.
Oh.
It was at a roundabout, and it was just like a compilation of people like turning left on the roundabout or like stopping at the roundabout and like in the roundabout going like, oh, don't worry, you can go in front of me. And it's like, bro, you're literally eliminating the purpose of a roundabout by doing these things. It's supposed to make traffic move.
Oh dear. Yeah, this one is under the category of driving habits, according to Wikipedia.
Driving habits, yeah.
They are seen to be easily confused by roundabouts.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh, overly reliant on personal automobiles. That is definitely true.
So
we don't walk anywhere.
Oh, wait, you don't walk anywhere? Is that?
Well, it kind of makes sense.
I mean, unless you can't afford petrol, then you would walk everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Or like take public transport.
Although most people can afford gasoline here, so
well,
but like the high school, which is like the closest thing other than other houses and the church to me, and the gas station is a 7-minute drive away at 55 miles per hour.
Oh my!
Which is about 24 meters per second.
I think I know why most of you do use your own automobile, and not use the public transport. Because I think since America's landmass is just so big, everything from everywhere is just so much farther than like where I live. The nearest convenience store, I can just easily walk 10 minutes easy. I can just arrive there. Yeah, but and with car, probably 2 minutes, I'll be there easily, right? Yeah. But since if we put that distance in America, then my walk will be like 30 minutes or something ridiculous like that. I think that's the big difference here.
Oh, yeah, totally. We also have really big, or not really big, but like a really good system of like cross-country highways we made during the Cold War to escape like nuclear bombings.
Oh my. Okay.
But they're really useful for travel.
Yeah. Well, glad they they serve a purpose after the war.
Yeah. Okay. I just looked it up real fast just for a little fun, how long it would take me to drive from a nearby major city to me, like 5-minute drive from where I live, to New York City on the opposite side of the country. It would be a 37-hour drive.
Woo-wee! Man, that's tiring. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Anyways.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Next stereotype. Do you have a Chinese stereotype, another Asian stereotype, or an Indonesian stereotype for me?
Okay. I'm pretty sure this one is false, because from what I've heard you talking about it, but the stereotype that Asians are good at math.
Well, we're back here, aren't we? This was the topic. This was a topic from before we started the podcast. So math. Okay, I've seen some of my friends are really smart in math, and I'm really jealous. But
yeah, same.
That is totally dependent on either the person likes studying or not, and if their parents are really strict or not. Okay.
That's probably a big part of it.
Some of the parents, Asian parents at least,
yeah, really
like push their children to be good at math. So there's these two like sort of courses back in my day at least when I was still in elementary, and they're really popular for torture. I mean for making your children good at math.
For torture.
These two courses are very popular. I think till now, anyways. Because the first one is called Kumon. You've probably heard of this. This thing is already spread worldwide. Anyways, I believe so. I've seen some American photos of Kumon, and this Kumon. Okay, the logo of it is the word Kumon, Kumon.
Yeah.
But with the O changed with a face.
The O is like a little derpy dude.
I know. I used to think this guy looks sort of funny, but then again, when you really think about it, that guy is not smiling now, is he?
No.
He's suffering in there. He's
the face of a guy
inside.
who's like, Lord, please spare me from this torment.
I know. I've heard there was this Asian stand-up comedian, and I believe his name was Jimmy O Yang. He joked about Kumon, saying it was an what's it called? A concentration camps, but for children and math.
Yeah. Oh, Jimmy. Yeah, I've seen some of him stuff. He's funny.
I can relate because you see, in Kumon at least, I've never been to Kumon like full time, but I have been on a trial to enter Kumon because you have the trial to enter this thing because it's like, oh, it's prestigious, like for the smart students only. But they have these levels from A to Z and then AA to ZZ. If you're super smart, you can probably reach ZZ easily, but I don't remember what level I was on, but like even if you're on level M, you're already considered super smart. So you can probably tell what the students are feeling like when they're at like a KK or LL or something. They're probably like dying inside, but they're super smart at math or something. But I do have to admit, those people who came out of that school, of that like a sort, I think it's a cram school, right? Sort of a cram school. They are very smart at math. My gosh, when I was elementary, we were given, I believe it was like a multiplication worksheet, and I barely finished the test on time, and we were like given, I believe, an hour and a half to work on it. My friend who went to Kumon finished it in 30 minutes easy. No, not matched by anyone. It was insane. Like, well, you finished in 3 minutes? That's why you were sleeping? What? That's insane.
Yeah, I slept until the last 5 minutes, and then I just whipped it up real fast. I got the best score in the class.
I know. Insane. And the second one, or the second course, is called Sampoa.
Yeah.
It's basically literally the name of this tool that was used to count. If you know, like there's like a few lines made out of like string or like sticks, and then there's like beads on it, and you can move the beads from left to right.
Oh, the abacus.
The what?
The abacus?
Maybe? I think it might be that, yeah.
Maybe ACS.
But it's called Sampoa. It's called Sampoa here, and people who go to these courses are super smart with mental math. I'm not joking. They are crazy. They don't need no paper to count 1,000 millions or whatever.
Like, hey, what is 739 divided by 312? And they're like, hang on, let me, 739 divided by 12. And they're like, it's 2.36858973. I mean, no, wait, 4. It's 4. Oh, no. I slipped there. My goodness, I'm getting rusty.
Yeah, what's it called? Their signature style is to like move their fingers like if you shape your hand like a pinch, they'll like do like a mouth but with the pinch, like a couple of times, and then they suddenly get the answer in a few seconds.
Okay,
insane, insanely good. But one of my friends went there apparently, and she shared her experience going to that place, or what's it called, the Sampoa, and she said she does not understand anything, not a single thing. So
like,
I think when it doesn't guarantee that you'll be good there, but when you do understand what they're doing in there, you'll be like the top student class, no doubt. Insane.
I see. Okay.
So yeah, in terms of smart in math, I think most Asians are insane in math because of either strict parents or they're just good nerds and love studying. Yeah.
Okay.
Or they're like me, who are bad at math, but
you know,
I have a YouTube channel with 3,000 subscribers, so that's
and
cool.
I can count that high, so.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a positive American stereotype, because the good at math thing, I would that's a positive stereotype, right? It's good if people think you're good at math.
Yeah, All right, I think so. Okay, the positive stereotypes are, let's see here. American have been seen as friendly, talkative, and open to conversation. How true is that?
I would say that is true. Yeah, I have.
From what I've seen from you, yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
I've seen videos from like Britain. I mean, not to diss on the Brits or anything. Pip pip, Uh,
Oh.
but I've seen videos of like just people on trains. They like are saying something. Of course, they are being annoying, and then everyone's just like, "Oh, shut up!" And just like screaming at them. I'm like, "Oh my goodness, calm down." If it was America, you'd probably just ignore them or go like, "Hey, can you shut it, please? Thanks." But like in the U.S., I haven't used a ton of public transportation, so I don't know if I could give any valid examples of that. But leaving the high school, for example, there are 3 exits, but the one that is the most convenient is one lane, and it's like a T intersection where you have to turn
Oh,
off
yeah.
of the main road,
All right.
and there's like line of cars coming from both directions turning on. And instead of just like booking it, literally like almost every single time, it's like 2 cars go from one way, and then the next car like waves to the next person. They're like, "Oh, you can go, it's fine." And then they go, and then it's just like a back and forth thing. Or like when driving, often you'll see people who are like, "Oh, you can go, go
Oh,
ahead," and then you're like, "Oh, thanks." Of course, there are those people who are like, "Ah, get out of my way," but
that's good to know that some people are very kind and just like, let the walking people just
yeah,
pass by. Because I'm on a car anyway, I can go
yeah, yeah.
faster, so
Um,
it's fine to just like wait for a little. That's good to know. That's good
yeah.
to know, and to know that that's true. But there's always those
There's
people.
always those
There's
people.
always those people.
Yeah.
Like, get out of my way.
Yeah, but also if you're just walking, at least where I live, if you're just like walking and there's other people walking past, if you like nod at them, they'll probably nod like back. They're like, "Yo, what's up?" Hey.
Oh, that's good. That's
So,
yeah. That's sort of similar and also different from what I've heard. Um, at least when I was in elementary, I believe it was in third grade. We
mhm.
were learning like social studies, and my teacher there said like, "Oh, our country, we are very kind. Like you smile at people, they smile back at
Yeah.
you. You see someone fall down, most people will probably drop whatever they're doing and help said person." And I've seen this very much true.
And they'll stop or help them, or at least if they don't help them, then most people will feel bad about not helping them.
Yeah, well, there's some people who will not
Yeah.
help, but I've seen at least examples from people around me, or what I've seen from the road, or from my dad, who if it's someone like crashed on the
Mhm.
traffic, and my dad would like hop off the car to just help them, and I think it's a really good example.
Yeah.
I've seen some people who like I believe like one of the so when I was riding in public transport, I helped a grandma lift up one of her boxes,
Yeah.
and there's another guy who also like offered help from the grandma for the grandma. So we carried both of her things down the stairs. So it
Yeah.
was it's good to know how true that people are kind around you.
Yeah.
They're just not robots who like mind their own
Yeah. Yeah.
business. Like you fall. Well, screw you, unlucky, huh?
Peasants.
Let me go do my
Yeah.
business then.
Um.
Yeah, it's good to know that. Yeah,
Uh.
that's a
Yeah.
positive. So that's
Yeah.
nice. Any other stereotypes, Mister
Okay,
Squidney?
let's see. I've given you a positive and a negative one, and you've given me 2 negatives and a positive. So let's see. Is there a negative stereotype I can think of?
I know one. I'm seeing this website. I can send you the link, but I can probably answer this one, but I'm not sure.
Let me think. Okay, here's a classic. Have you eaten a dog?
Mm. Okay, I see. There are some parts of our country that eat dogs. Okay.
I knew it.
Even if you consider it's like illegal or like not good or like poor
Yeah,
dogs, you still can't deny that these are parts of cultures for some parts of our
yeah.
country. And I personally have not eaten a dog. I think dogs are very cute. Some of them have bit me, but hey, I'll forgive them because they're very nice. But some parts of Jakarta, some parts of Solo and Medan, which is other parts of the two other big cities in Indonesia, they do eat dogs. Some, I think Solo. Let me look it up if it's true here. Yep, it's true.
Okay.
Solo is one of the highest rates of people eating dogs. But I think they are special dogs, or like a certain breed of dogs that are specially bred to be eaten, just like chickens.
Okay.
They're not like, you don't like see a dog maul that dog, let's eat them alive. It's not like that. Obviously. It's not exactly like that.
If it was, I'd be impressed and concerned at the same time.
Yeah, most of the time, and from what I've heard, they are put down in a humane way, so they feel as little pain as possible.
Of course.
All the good stuff.
All right.
Not just like that dog right there, I'm gonna shoot it in the head. Nah, it's not like that. It's not as but yeah, if you feel like eating dog feels wrong or something, it's okay. You don't have to try or try eating dogs, I guess. When you're visiting our country, you don't have to, but just know that you need to respect that it is a delicacy in some parts of our country.
Yeah, I knew there was some truth to it because my dad has been to the Philippines, and one time he was visiting a family in his area, and he was having dinner with them. And when he went in, there was like this chihuahua on the porch, or like this small annoying dog that was just yapping at him, and he described it as all like ragged and like old and stuff. And then guess what was for dinner?
Of course, gosh. It was not the Chihuahua, right?
He did say that family was really poor, so like, the dog was probably the only thing they could actually
that makes sense.
feed them. So
that makes sense.
He didn't enjoy it. Let's just say
it is. It does. I mean, for my conscience, eating a dog feels horrible. But there's been some sort of like an uprise, at least in Solo. Like some people are making campaigns about not eating dogs, and I think that's sort of good in a way, but also not really, because then you'll be like blocking people from doing their delicacy or doing their tradition of like eating. I mean, they're a special breed of dogs anyway, so like no one's really harmed it. It's like, if you think about it, you're breeding cows and chickens and sheep just to like cut them up and eat them. It's not really that different if you really think about it.
And it's not like you're going to be like eating your pet cow either. The one that you let like sleep in your bed.
Yeah, no.
At night, Yeah.
No, I don't. No. It's usually like these industrial cattle, right? It's a whole different thing. I mean, unless you're like starving and you have no other food, then I guess so.
Yeah. That does make sense. Okay, let's see. That's 3 for 3.
Yep. Another
all right,
positive one for you here from Americans is apparently you are all very patriotic, overly patriotic.
That is definitely true.
Okay. All right.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if it's positive or negative, to be completely honest.
I would say it's definitely both. Obviously, patriotism's definitely a good thing to an extent. Like, oh yeah, I love my country.
Agreed.
I acknowledge all like the benefits. Like, oh, America, we have Americans, and so obviously we're cool. I'm just kidding. But
I see.
Then there's the people who are so patriotic that they're like, oh, America is the best country in the world and has the most valuable currency and economy and biggest military, and they just like are like super biased. Like at that point, it is definitely negative. It's like, have you even heard of other countries? And they're like, oh yeah, there's 7 other countries. North America, South America, the United States, Antarctica, and Germany.
You mean peasant countries? Nah. My gosh. Have you met some of these people who are overly patriotic, like in person?
Probably, but I have not experienced overly patriotic-ness, like face to face, like them being overly patriotic. I mean,
I see.
On the 4th of July,
what do you think?
There's lots of explosions and lots of people wearing disgusting clothes that are just
red,
stars and blues and reds and whites and stripes everywhere, and they're like, America!
I mean, on 4th of July, I think the context fits, and that's fair. I think that's fair. I mean, our country does that too. When it's Independence Day, we celebrate and some people wear red and white, which is our country flag colors, or like paint red and white on their face or something. I think that's totally fair to do it on the Independence Day, but out of that context, to do it overly like that, I think, that's not good.
Yeah. But yeah, we're pretty patriotic. I mean, at school, we say the Pledge of Allegiance every single day. We're like, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. You should probably play the national anthem of the United States during this part, so it sounds dramatic. For which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And then we all sit back down and ignore the announcements.
Watch me put the wrong anthem in here. That would be kind of funny.
Puts the Soviet Union national anthem in the background. That would be actually kind of funny. It would trigger so many people.
Let's move on from this. I don't think that would age well if we continue with that joke. Anyway, do you have another one for me?
Okay, let's see. Another positive one. Let's see.
Or like a general one could be nice as well. Up to you. Like it doesn't have to be a negative or a positive.
I was about to say one, but then I was like, oh, we already kind of talked about it. But let's see. Ping pong. Is everyone good at ping pong?
I am pretty good at ping pong, to be honest. I am, but actually, no. Now that I think about it, I am mediocre at ping pong. Yeah, but I mean, at least I can play, right? That's the whole point, right? I mean, I'm not super good at competition or anything, but at least I can play, so that's cool. Ping pong, yes. We have most schools have ping pong extracurricular here, so from my experience, joining a ping pong team in an extracurricular, my gosh, the others are so good. Whoa, holy! Like
they're like, this is an extracurricular. This is my life.
Yeah, I can definitely feel that. But yeah, when I was playing for fun, I think it's a good sport. Pretty fun.
All right.
And yeah, my teacher who was teaching the extracurricular at the time. My gosh, he's so good. He can like manipulate that ball without touching it. It's insane.
He's just watching it and it just turns around midair. And you're like, what? And he's like,
oh gosh. Oh, he's the ball bender. Oh no.
You see, I happen to be a minor god of ping pong.
Oh gosh. But yeah, I've heard this being joked by again, stand-up comedian Jimmy O Yang. Shout out to you, my guy.
That's how I knew about it, from my boy Jimmy. He's pretty funny.
Oh, so you watched that guy as well? I see.
I've seen some clips, and they were all hilarious. So
I know they were even more hilarious to me because I can relate to it. Okay, like, oh my gosh, that's so true.
They're all relatable.
But yeah, it's so funny. And I remember he would say, I believe, ping pong is like our only sport. Like it's ping pong or nothing.
Or
oh dear, it was like funny.
Martial arts.
Well, I can't do martial arts, but here in Indonesia at least, we have like some types of martial arts like silat and like I forgot the names, but there are some cool ones. Let me look it up.
Yeah, I am definitely not a martial arts expert, nor even a beginner. I know like maybe a couple moves in jiu-jitsu, but other than that, I could punch someone in the throat if I needed to. That counts, right? I'm a ninja.
Yep. Yeah, sure, I guess. Martial arts. Okay, I found so like it's usually named pencak silat and then the name of the type. Like is it like a Bajan or a Nusa Gate, I guess, or it's a shield or something like that. Yeah, there's some cool names here, but they don't really fit when you translate it to English. Anyways, they are pretty cool. I think they are pretty fun. They are definitely going to be very painful. I myself have not learned any types of martial arts, whether it from my country or either from outside, like Kung Fu or Taekwondo. But I have a friend who does Taekwondo, and I don't remember what belt he was on, but man, he can punch hard. Ooh, that man is crazy. He's very strong indeed. But yeah, martial arts, I think it's more of a at least nowadays, it's more of a tradition kind of thing, more than
yeah, that makes sense.
The thing you would do like every single day. At least from what I've seen, and what I've studied, there are some types of martial arts that you would do on a wedding. That's right, you heard that correctly. Wedding.
Okay.
So in a even Scoots is like, excuse me.
Wedding.
So on, I may be wrong here. I don't remember exactly, but I kind of am lazy to look it up. But I believe in one of the Java style weddings, the groom would fight the bride's father, and like it's not like a real fight to completely beating him up or something. But
that's actually awesome.
It's like a more of a
that should totally be a thing.
More of a ritual kind of fight. Yeah. So technically, when the groom can defeat the father, that sort of like proves that this guy can protect his daughter and is like trustworthy of carrying on the family. So it's pretty. It has very nice bearings to it.
Let me think. I could probably beat up my girlfriend's dad, so that's a good sign.
Oh my gosh! Are you gonna say that? Oh my goodness! Holy! Is your girlfriend hearing to this podcast? Oh, come on! You gotta tell her to listen to the podcast.
Probably. She texted me like a day or two ago. She's like, "I finally subscribed to your podcast YouTube channel." I'm like, "Thanks."
That's cool.
She'll probably think it's
That's
funny.
Nice. Another subscriber. Let's go. I'm not cutting this out. I know I'm not editing this out.
No, you better not.
Cutting that out. Anyways, another one. I think I'll give one last one, and you'll give one last one, and then we'll end the episode there.
Okay.
One last. I believe this is a negative one.
Okay.
It's gonna be a bit sensitive.
Okay.
Racism.
Sorry, what? I said okay right when you said
American people in general may be portrayed as racist or racialist, often discriminating against their minorities. In a 2017 survey, 58% of Americans said that racism is a big problem in our society. So, what's your take on it?
That's a hard one. I would agree that it is a big problem, but I would not agree that most Americans are racist. I don't know, I feel like the few of us who are racist are just very loud about it. So.
Oh, like a loud minority kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it's not great. It's mostly against.
Not very good representative of your country, now, is it?
I mean, personally, I'm not racist, and you can quote me on that.
That's good to know.
Although, yeah, most people who are racist in the United States, this isn't like a statistic. This is just what I'm pretty sure is the case. Is most people are racist against African Americans rather than like Asian or Muslim or something like that.
I see. Because I've heard when it was in Trump's presidency age era or something, there was a period where Islams from my country couldn't go to America to like visit or something because like he would block every entry.
Oh yeah.
For anyone that's of a Muslim. Religion.
I'm trying to remember. I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to remember what that was about. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that was because there was like some sort of thing going on with like Iran, and so he's like, "Oh, these like 11 countries are now banned from the U.S. for a little bit, or something like that." I'm like, politics.
Yeah, I guess Indonesia is one of the biggest countries one of the biggest countries with a majority of Islams. So I guess that's also a factor when the terrorists give a bad name to the religion, you know.
Yeah. We definitely do have.
Anyway, last one from you, good sir. Oh, never mind.
Okay. We definitely do have this kind of. I'm trying to think of a way to describe it. Do you know what the Confederacy was? Probably not.
Nope.
Do you? No.
Nope.
Okay.
I do not.
So during the. I'll give you a brief synopsis, but it is related. During the Civil War, the U.S. Civil War, which was fought over mostly the right of states to legalize slavery. Like the North half was like, slavery's bad, it should be illegal. And the Southern half is like, our economy depends on slavery. We're going to break off and make our own country, which was the Confederacy. And
Okay.
Today, it's just like I like face palm every single time I see a Confederate flag because they're like, "Oh, the Confederacy." I'm like, "Bro, you're waving the flag of a country that got destroyed well over 100 years ago in the country that destroyed it, which also happens to be the country that it tried to split off from and existed for like 4 years."
But also, I think slavery is very messed up.
Association with slavery is like kind of, oh, it's racist, kind of thing.
But yeah, slavery is very messed up. I mean, imagining people as like an item you can trade or buy from, it's insane.
Yeah. Good thing it's illegal
Oh dear.
in every country. I'm pretty sure it's illegal in every country, but
good thing it's not a thing anymore. That's nice. That's good to know that people who are
at least not legally.
Yeah, at this it's good to know that people now who are born with the people of color, they are not like, oh, you're now like a slave or something. You're like, it's not their choice to be born like that, you know.
I mean, if it was, I would be way more muscly, and more tan because,
sorry, what?
I'm a pasty white boy.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
okay. Let's see. One more.
Last one. One last one.
Looking through that list you gave me.
Choose wisely.
I've already used that one.
You can use the first one. The first one sounds kind of cool.
Are you from China? Right. Okay, that's
the second. First or second. First or second is kind of cool.
We'll combine them to the same. Are you Korean/Japanese/Chinese? And do you know anyone with the last name of like Lee, Kim, Chang, or something very stereotypically like Chinese?
I am Chinese. Yes. My grandfather at least.
Okay.
Not grandfather. My great grandfather came literally from China and came to Indonesia to work as one of the sailors.
Okay.
So yeah, technically from the family tree, I came directly from China, but now I'm here. But here's the thing. Here's a fun fact for you guys out there who probably don't know about this. Chinese people who live here and are like the new generations of Chinese, most of us can't speak Chinese. So that's a fun fact to know. I can't speak a single bit of Mandarin. I mean, I can like speak just a little bit of Mandarin. So you might call me trilingual technically, but I'm not. It's like I can do Wopu Chutao, which is I don't know, and also Wopu Cha Wop. It's like something, but not about not speaking Mandarin. So that's fun.
Okay.
But if I know anyone with last name Lee, Kim, or Chang, I know someone that my one of my family names is with Lee.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of fun. Yeah, like but Lee as in like Chinese Lee, not Lee like
yeah. I get
Putin or something like not the Korean kind of Lee. Yeah. But yeah, that's your answer right there.
I mean, it is totally a thing where like at least in America, whenever someone sees someone Asian, they definitely the first thing they jump to is either Chinese or Japanese, and then maybe Korean, and then after that maybe Vietnam, maybe.
I see. Yeah, I guess one of the defining traits of Chinese who lives in Asia.
Yeah.
I mean, Chinese are in Asia. China is in Asia. But anyway, you know what I mean. We have very our eyes are very defining. It was it's sort of like you're closing your eyes, but you can actually see.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
One of my friends in school back in the day, if he laughs, I always think he's closing his eyes fully, because if he laughs, since his eyes is already quite closing, if he laughs, it's like full straight line.
That's
so
funny.
It's kind of funny.
Well, when I smile really big, I do essentially the same thing, but I think that's mostly because I'm just kind of squinty and I have a big smile. I'm not Asian, but
or maybe you're secretly Asian.
No.
Oh,
definitely like mostly American, like original colonizer American ancestor or descendant, or German. My grandfather came from Germany, so
I see. Okay, gotcha. Well, that's nice to know. Anyways.
Well, thank you, listeners, for dropping by and listening to this wonderful episode of Crossing Borders. This has been Josh and Sid.
That's right.
Don't forget to grab your passports on your way out, and we'll hope to see you next time.
Bye-bye. Bye.